Now, you have that pencil and paper. I've warned you. You needed to get it. You've had time to get it. Now, here it is. I need you to write these down. You heard me make a statement nearly 2 years ago, and Alex, it's in your archives. By the end of 2012, the dollar will be dead. You heard me say that. And many of you now saying, oh, wait a minute, I can still go to the grocery store and buy everything I want with the dollar. It's not dead yet. No. I'm going to give you the facts. You ready? Write them down. Here's the first one. February of 2012, the largest trade agreement that was ever signed in the history of the world was signed between China and Japan. China being the second largest economy in the world, Japan being the third, and they said we are going to sell and trade products amongst ourselves. You know nearly everything comes from China now. We're going to sell and trade products amongst ourselves, and we will not use the American dollar for the sale and trade of those products. Next, China and Russia. September the 7th. Write the dates down. Please go look these up, folks. You've got to know the signs. I've tried to give them to you on our DVD. I'm trying to help you now. China and Russia on September the 7th of 2012. You'll find it in the China Daily. There's an article about it. They signed an agreement that they will sell and trade products amongst each other. They will not use the American dollar. As long as you and I have known, the dollar has been the reserve currency of the world. It has been the Petro dollar. I'll give you the next one. China and Brazil. Go look on BBC, British Broadcasting, at their article. They have agreed on a huge currency swap between China and Brazil. They will not use the American dollar any longer for the sale and trade of their products. China and Australia, I have to give them to you in a hurry. We got to get these in fast. Look in Financial Express. That's the article you'll find on China and Australia. They have made an agreement amongst themselves. They'll sell and trade, will not use the American dollar. India and Japan, Reuters news service had this large currency swap, no longer using each other's American currency. The dollar, come on, is dead. Again, look at this one. And this took place on April the 27th of 2012. Go look them up. India and China is buying oil from Iran, and they will not use the American dollar in the purchase of that. This has never happened before in the history of crude oil. Next one, Iran and Russia. Look at it in Bloomberg. You'll find the article. And they said, we're not going to use the American dollar any longer. Of course, America won't let them use it now because of the sanctions. China and Chile signed a new agreement just the other day. You'll find this out there also on the news wires. I'm going to give them to you. Here's the other one. China and the United Arab Emirates. Look on CNN. You'll find the article on it. They are not going to use the American dollar any longer. China and Africa. Did you realize that Africa's largest bank, come on now, look it up, Standard Bank of Africa, you'll find the article on what they did, and they said we will... China is the number one trade partner with Africa now. They buy so many things from them. They're not going to use the American dollar any longer for sale and trade of their products. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, called BRICS on April the 5th of 2012, said we will no longer use the American dollar for the sale and trade of our products. The last one. You ready? This one just happened. Just happened the other day. September the 6th, 2012. China officially, folks, please, I just got this. China officially announced that any country in the world that wishes to sell crude oil using its currency instead of the U.S. dollar can do so now because they have everything set up. And as of the next day, now they made that announcement on September the 6th. On September the 7th, the next day, Russia announced that the nation, Russia, will sell China all of the crude oil it needs, no limitations whatsoever. They will not use the American dollar. Folks, please listen to me. You say the dollar's not dead. I say to you, the dollar is already dead, and you don't know it. Let me show you why. All of these trillions of American dollars, they're out there unused, unwanted. They're coming home. How long does it take them to come home? 6 to 8 months. Mark my words. 6 to 8 months. months from now, you are going to see the most devastating situation that you have ever seen in the United States of America. Trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars from all of these that I just named to you. You've listed them. You've got them down now. And this currency is unused, unwanted. It's floating around. It's going to return home like the chickens coming home to roost. And it will take 6 to 8 months. Folks, the dollar is already dead, and you don't know it. Alex, can I say it any plainer?
Well, Lindsey, I tried to give you the floor there to break it down, and I wish that the evidence wasn't clear of what you're saying. It doesn't mean that the former top big three oil company CEO is infallible, but I got to say about 95% of what he said has come true that we've covered here in the last 6, 7 years. And he normally conferred with Mr. Fromm, the other executive who, of course, died about 1.5 years ago, for those that just joined us. But everything you're talking about integrates or dovetails in with the research I have. China and others are already getting away from the dollar to buy oil. All the BRICS countries are moving away from it. And I don't think they would have gone to QE Unlimited if they didn't understand that the dollar was already going to die anyways, because it will kill it. I mean, your source could be wrong. If, you know, they do a few different things to stave it off, it might not go completely belly up by December, as your source is saying. But going to QE Unlimited, as Ron Paul said last hour here, we should be, quote, panicking, because it will kill the dollar. But I agree, the Chinese moving faster and faster out of it, and they basically, before the last few years, had one leg in, one leg out. Now they've got basically both feet out, but it will take time for those to come back into the country. And that's why, with all the dollars, these countries, China isn't buying dollars anymore, our biggest holder of debt. The globalists, you know, designed it that way. They still hold a lot of them, and they're buying the biggest movie chains, the biggest movie production houses. They're buying up the real estate. The communist Chinese government is, not their poor slaves. And so we sold out our birthright for baubles, but it's only a few $1 trillion that the Chinese owned. The bankers maneuvered us into that. And you're right, they want us in debt. That's why they loan Europe money to pay off debt the bankers created, derivatives, because it's all fiat to begin with. And, you know, Max Kaiser talked to the head of the Forbes dynasty, Steve Forbes, a few months ago in Greece, and he bragged and said, yeah, we're going to take everything over. I mean, they don't even hide this. I tuned into Bloomberg Financial on XM, and I listen to it quite a lot when I'm driving home late at night. And they have all these big head guys on there. There's always re-airing stuff from the morning at night. And they just brag, yeah, it's world government. They're not going to stop us. We're going to implode everything. They don't even hide it, is what's frustrating. And then, you know, you talk to people in the general public, they have no idea what's in store for